left is Ishikawa. Guzman with pretty good speed. 4 for 10 in the series. And the first pitch is on its way, and it's high.
Christian Guzman lifetime against Zito, not a lot of success. 3 for 26, 7 punch-outs, hitting $115.
And a base hit to left field on the second pitch of the game is Guzman. Got one in on his fist. And that's a leadoff single, and here's Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson, big night last night. First 5 RBI game since 2003. Against Zito, he's 3 for 4 lifetime, and he rolls the first pitch foul, and it's 0-1. Zito is 2-0 against the Nationals last year, and he's 2-1 against the Nationals lifetime. Down low, Jerry Davis calling balls and strikes. Kellogg, Wegner, Timmons around the horn. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nick Johnson. Outside corner, 1-2.
Jerry Davis is a good umpire for Barry Zito. He prefers the higher strike. And generally speaking, whatever you get the first inning from Jerry Davis, it's going to stay that way through 9 innings.
Guzman's got 1 steal on the season. Giants up the middle. Renteria and Burris at double play depth. Base hit to right field as Johnson waited very nicely on that breaking ball, and Schultz gets it back in quickly. So Zito in trouble here in the first inning. Why? Because Zimmerman's coming up.
Now, when you face a guy who's in the middle of a 30-game hitting streak, that's a guy you got to be aware of. And it's not only the 30-game hitting streak, it's how he's doing it. We have been very impressed with the balance that this man has. 24 years old.
He's gotten a hit in the first inning in both games of this series. Fastball is high, 1-0. He has faced Zito 8 times in his career, and he's 2 for 8. And a strike to even the count.
Good 2-pitch combination. Fastball, changeup, perfect location with the off-speed pitch.
Zimmerman is 6 for 10 in this series as Burris sneaks in behind Guzman. 6 for 10.
Yeah, they've been loud too. I mean, you know a guy's dialed when his outs are loud.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
I know it's early in the game, but just in the minds of a pitcher, when there's a runner at second, nobody out, you're kind of thinking strikeout. I mean, in this situation, you'll pitch for a ground ball early, but you get to a 1-2 count or an 0-2 count, you'll take a shot at trying to strike him out.
Out of play down the right field line, a fastball. Guzman at second, Johnson at first, just underway. Some fans still settling into their seats. Guzman and Johnson. It is a very nice day for baseball. Burris, Renteria, Ishikawa, got him. Well, not exactly a routine double play, to say the least.
Well, like you said, guys in 30-game hitting streaks have a tendency to hit shots even when they make outs, and this is just exactly what the doctor ordered, a one-hopper. And gives you an idea just how Zimmerman can move. I mean, that ball was a seed, and he just did get beat by the throw from Edgar Renteria.
Here's Willingham. Breaking ball for a strike. Willingham started in left field on Monday and went 1 for 5. Remember, he hit a home run off the foul pole. And then as a pinch hitter last night, he went 0 for 1. Maybe the biggest play in that game on Monday was a play that Willingham didn't make on a fly ball to the left. He overran it. A couple of runs scored, 3 more scored after that. The 1-1 pitch, he swing and a miss.
Swing through on a changeup. Do you come back with a changeup? Do you try and cut his hands with hard stuff? Or do you try and bounce a curveball? I mean, that's the thing. At times last year, it just seemed like there were outings when Zito would be painted into a pitch where he'd have to throw the pitch that the hitter was looking for. But that is not the case anymore. I mean, he's got full access to whatever he can do with the ball. I mean, they are at his beck and call.
Pulled on the ground, foul. This was the misplay that we were talking about. This would have ended the inning. Instead, it extended the inning.
Well, and in his defense, too, it was not an easy night to play the outfield. And if you're not used to the winds in Northern California, it can be a bit of an obstacle. Normally, Willingham's a pretty sure-handed outfielder. But on that particular occasion, that was embarrassing.
Got him. Zito, after allowing back-to-back singles, gets out of it. Giants are coming up. And let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Burris, Renteria, Wynn, and then Pablo Sandoval. Big 3 RBIs and 1 swing of the bat, and everybody went home. Ishikawa, Rowan, followed by Sherrills, Holm, and Zito.
Defensively for the Washington Nationals, they will set it up this way. Willingham, Dukes, and Kearns at your outfield. Guzman, Zimmerman, left side of the infield. Right side will be Belliard, Johnson, and Will Nieves for the 3rd time will be the starting catcher in this series, and he'll be catching Chiron Martis, the right-hander, 22-year-old.
Burris bluffing a bunt, but taking all the way.
Martis, there his numbers, a perfect 4-0. At one time was in the Giants organization at the very low minor leagues, out of rookie league. Got traded over to the Nationals as the Giants acquired left-hander Mike Stanton back in July of 2006.
I remember that.
And he has been a goldmine find for this organization, and you're going to see a lot of that. He's got a good sinker. He'll also lower his arm angle and get a little more sink and run away with movement that falls away from a lefty. When he's right, you'll see a lot of ground balls.
And the walk, and in this case, a walk is as good as a hit.
Getting on base, your leadoff hitter, that is what you should look at, your on-base percentage. How many runs you score, how often you get on the sack. How you get there is up to you.
Here's Edgar Renteria. Renteria at 252. He had a big hit last night to knock in a couple of runs. And now Martis throws a strike.
Chiron Martis from Curacao, 6'1", 225-pounder. Really had great career in the minor leagues. He was in the minor leagues for 5 years.
Renteria thought about it. It's one ball and one strike.
Martis was primarily a starter, had 95 appearances in the minor leagues. 86 of those were starts. And the Nationals forecast him as a member of the rotation for what they hope will be a long time.
Burris had a lean going. Burris with 9 steals. Down low, 2-1. So both Burris and Renteria working Martis here in the first inning. Randy Wynn to follow, and then Pablo Sandoval. A day off for Benji Molina.
See the rookie leaders in wins.
Burris goes, swinging a line drive off the glove of the third baseman Zimmerman. Now Zimmerman at least probably saved 90 feet by knocking that ball down.
Game of inches. I mean, that ball just hit off the tip of the glove of Ryan Zimmerman. I mean, he catches this ball. I mean, he could run over himself and touch first base to complete the double play. And if it had gone another inch longer, it would have been a first and third for the Giants. But I think they'll take the break they got.
Randy Wynn hitting .269. 2 for 4 last night. So both teams get the first 2 runners on in the top of the first inning. And the pitch to Randy Wynn is a strike, a fastball at the knees, 0-1. Randy Wynn has been hot. Rolls this one on the ground, and it'll be a put out for Johnson. Both runners advance.
Batting fourth, third baseman, number 48, Pablo Sandoval.
Sandoval at the plate, runners at second and third. Nice AB last night after taking 3 or 4 pitches. See what he does here. Chopper, I take no more. 2 outs. Here's Travis Ishikawa.
Well, that's a frustrating at bat. See, how do you hit a sinker baller? Simple. You look up. And he got a ball that was up. Make you slam your helmet a bit.
It'll certainly make you forget about last night. But that's what baseball does. First pitch to Ishikawa is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Burris at third. Renteria at second. And it's low. 2-0.
Good take right there. And 4 days ago, he's hacking at that. The last couple days, he has come to life. 5 hits, a 3-hit night on Monday, 2 hits last night. And all of a sudden, instead of trying to make something happen, you're much more patient. You're getting better pitches to hit.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, that's the pitch right there that gives you an idea that this national team thinks they have something special in Martis. A changeup off of the fastball with big movement and drop that runs away from a lefty.
And they're loaded.
And you saw a slider right there. And that one, I'm sure he wishes he had back. Trying to cut that in the hands flat.
So now an opportunity for Aaron Rowan. Rowan at 240, a couple of home runs, 13 driven in. Burris, Renteria, and Ishikawa are aboard. Throw foul, no balls and 1 strike. Well, you're going to find out in the first inning what Martis wants to throw to get people out. Because when you get runners in scoring position in that first, you're going to know right away.
Oh, you go to DEFCON 3 when you're out there on the hill. You're throwing your best stuff.
And we've seen that he's going to the breaking ball and the changeup.
Tight little slider. Trying to paint that outside corner right. He's running inside to a lefty. And that changeup, I think he wants to get to a 2-strike before he saves that. And then throws it on a surprise type count.
2 balls and a strike. And there was the fastball.
Well, this should be a pretty good pitch to hit right here. He had a strike 1. He went to a couple of corners. Rowan spit on him. Now a 2-1 count. He's got to bite off a little more strike zone.
Two and 2.
And there's that hard slider. We have not seen a fastball in this at bat to Aaron Rowan. And it's a tight little slider.
And that was high, and Martis started to head off.
Yeah, he thought he was out of the inning. They went to the outside corner with that slider. You'll see Nieves trying to frame it back in. And Jerry Davis just staring right back out through the mound.
Three and 2. Runners will be on the move. Popped them up. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Zimmerman. And that ends the inning. Giants leave them loaded after 1-0. Dukes rolls it foul. Dukes hitting .275. He's got 4 big flies. He's got 20 runs batted in.
Yeah, this guy does not lack for strong.
Man, he's got a powerful swing. Looks like a middle linebacker.
He does.
That's in the pros. He looks like you can play anywhere you want in high school.
This is a guy you do not want to have a collision with if you're a catcher.
Got him.
Good curveball from Zito. Strikeout number 2. Let's take a look at that big old curveball. That's a Barry Zito special. And he has been dialed in. All right, well, the Mets are coming to town starting tomorrow, a 4-game series, and it's their only trip to San Francisco the whole year. Now, Saturday, May 16th, that's the annual Junior Giants Glove Drive presented by Bank of America. And Sunday's game is sold out. That's the Tim Lincecum bobblehead day. If you want to get tickets for Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, all you need to do is go to sfgiants.com or call 1-877-4-SFG-TICKS.
Kearns takes inside. Sold out, you said?
Sold out. Out and about.
That's good. Up the middle. Renteria cuts it off. 2 out. Here's Belliard. 2 for 4 in the series. He did hit a home run on Monday. Outside and high. Belliard is the one Nationals player that has had the most at bats against Barry Zito. As he hits this one off the end of the bat, and now Rowan comes in and slows down and makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Zito. Nate Sherholtz will lead things off.
Welcome back to Giants Baseball. I'm ABG, and guess what I got in my hot little hands? It's voting time for the fans at the All-Star Ballot. You can vote here at the park by picking up one of these, or go online, sfgiants.com. You can vote up to 25 times per email for your favorite Giant, and when you do, you are automatically entered to win great prizes at AT Park, including a chance to meet the 2009 Giants All-Stars. Go vote now. Dwayne?
All right, thanks, Amy.
Hot little hands, huh?
Yeah. Amy looking sharp and blue.
Gamer the gamer.
Here's Nate Sherholtz. Sherholtz takes the first pitch down low last night. 0 for 3. strikeout and a couple of broken bats.
Yeah, I think he wants to kind of forget last night.
Well, if that was the case, I should have kept my mouth shut.
Now, hey, that's part of it as a baseball player. You have to learn how to deal with failure. I mean, even the best hitters in the game have to deal with failure 7 times out of 10.
On the appeal, and Tim Timmons says, yeah. I saw you break those 2 bats yesterday. That's a strike.
Yeah, unfortunately. That is correct.
Pulls it foul. Jack Hirsch going down that. Didn't look much like Jack, though.
That's Jack.
It is Jack. Up the middle. Guzman just got him. 1 out. And that'll bring up Steve Holm. I was informed the other day in the clubhouse, Mike Murphy said, because I said, hey, what's up, Sacramento? He goes, no. Holme. His name is Holme. So I said, all right, sorry, Murph, because, Murph tags these guys with nicknames. Steve Holm takes a strike.
So he becomes Holme.
He's Holme.
Well, if Murph says so, we're going with it.
Holme pops it up. 2 outs. It's a very strange road trip, this past one that the Giants went on, because Mike Murphy wasn't on it.
That was weird. A week away from Murph, that was not good. You know the thing about Murph when he puts a nickname on you? It might not always get caught on with everybody else, but with Murph, it is there forever.
He does not deviate. It's his and his alone. You want to use it? Fine. If not, it doesn't matter.
But more often than not, they do stick.
Zito does have a hit this year. He's 1 for 9. Right around that Kirk Reeder 111 batting average. Out of play, 1 and 2.
Oh, nice play by a young man up in the stands. He brought his glove, got the reward. Yeah, Kirk Reeder, he would always be on the interstate, but it would be low on the interstate.
Outside to Zito, 2 and 2. Right at Guzman, and that ends the inning. So Zito hit it hard, and now we will head to the third. It's 0-0. Here it's 0-0 as we head to the third. It is Wired Wednesday here at the ballpark. Aaron Rowan wearing a microphone. Let's check in with Aaron Rowan.
Boom. Let's go, baby. Come on, Manny. Get the leadoff guy on.
Yep, a lot of attaboys from Aaron Rowan, as you would expect.
That's pretty much how he goes through life.
That's right. Airplane, bus, lobby. Here's Nieves, who had a good night last night as he takes a strike. 3 for 4. He scored a run. He's got 4 hits in the series. He's 4 for 8. On the ground, Renteria. Kind of a tricky ground ball, but he makes the play.
Nieves has swung the bat well. Jesus Flores is the everyday catcher, but not available right now, and Nieves has done a nice job in the series.
Here's Martis. Judging by his numbers, not afraid to swing the bat a little bit. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Kind of looks like Livan Hernandez with that swing. Very flat swing.
Who the Giants will see Friday night.
Levo.
It'll be Lincecum against Hernandez. 1-2 to Martis. A little contrast in styles on Friday night.
Oh, yeah. For two right-handers, opposite ends of the spectrum.
Slowly hit. Zito knocks it down. Zito picks it up. Too late. So Zito will be upset with himself on that one.
It's going to be an error on Barry Zito. And just misjudged it. Kind of hit him on the thumb of his glove. And Martis, who was running on the play, got the reward. And how many pitchers do you see break out and they don't really run down the line? It would have been an easy recovery for Zito. But Martis going hard. And that'll put Zito in the stretch.
Guzman singled in the first. Here he rolls it foul. Guzman will swing the bat. He does not like to walk. And we have proof of that. Because he hasn't walked yet this year.
And you look at Guzman, you say 385 batting average. Well, that's his on base percentage as well. The only way he's got on base is by swinging the bat. No hit batsman, no walks. Amazing.
Roll foul again, 1-2.
You know, and that's one of the things that you really pay attention to if you're an opposing pitcher. You kind of go down the stat sheet and you look to see how many guys have statistics like Guzman, 100 at bats, no walks, or even any single digit. The guy's got 100 at bats and he's got 6 walks. You know that guy's going to swing at that ball in the dirt if you get ahead of him.
Hit into center field. Rowan comes in a few steps and he tracks it down. 2 out. And this will bring up Nick Johnson. Johnson singled in the first. Here he takes the pitch inside. Johnson has been a tough out in this series. There's a strike on a breaking ball.
Seems like every time he comes back to San Francisco, he puts up some pretty good at bats. Native Northern California coming back home.
Well, he and Steve Holm, pretty good friends. In tight, 2 balls and 1 strike. And on the outside corner, 2-2. Both Steve Holm and Nick Johnson went to McClatchy High School in Sacramento. Off of Zito. And everybody's going to be safe.
Well, earlier this week, Tim Lincecum and your San Francisco Giants struck out 12 batters versus the Los Angeles Dodgers, earning fans $12 off tickets to this Friday game. That's when the Giants take on the Mets, and it's going to be Tim Lincecum against Levon Hernandez in that game. Now, the View Reserve seats were regularly $18 while you take the $12 off, and that means for $6 you can get yourself a ticket to go watch a big league hardball game. To receive the K-Zone discount, use the coupon code GIANTSK when purchasing tickets online, and reserve your seats now by logging on to sfgiants.com.
So a couple of balls off of Zito's glove, and all of a sudden now he's facing Zimmerman. And a big sweeping breaking ball misses, and it's 1-0. Zimmerman hit the ball hard in the first, but it was turned into a 4-6-3 double play. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Time now for our Firestone leaderboard and 30-game hit streak since 2000. Well, Jimmy Rollins had 38. Chase Utley 25. 35. Castillo 35. Zimmerman with 30. And then Moises Alou, Willie Taveras, and Albert Pujols also with 30.
Boy, he's got a good swing, 1 and 2.
He's on everything, man. I mean, it looks like his bat head is just snapping right to the ball. Whatever speed you throw it up there, he's on it. Wow. That is a great swing. Getting good looks, head is still. But it's just the control of that bat head to the ball where he is a magician right now.
That's going to be a souvenir.
I mean, hitting streaks are impressive when they get out about 3 weeks. You know, you get in the 20s, that's pretty good. But when you get to 30, everybody in the baseball world all of a sudden sits up and says, hey, who's this guy doing what, huh? They take notice.
Yep. Steve Holm will give chase, but it's going to be just out of his reach. Nationals will go home after the ball game. It's been a 3-city road trip. Very high, 2 and 2.
Does not have to give in to Zimmerman. He's got an open base here.
Very high, 3 and 2. So now the runners will be on the move. For the Nationals, the trip started in LA. Remember, their first win on this trip came after they trailed 6-0. Won a couple of games in Arizona. So they're 3-4 on this trip. Here it's 3-2. Runners will go. The pitch to Zimmerman. Swing and a foul back. Zito went right at him.
Well, Zito's had success with that fastball on that inside corner. And Zimmerman just does catch a piece to stay alive.
This will be the 9th pitch in this at bat. Runners go. And he walked him.
I think he pitched him well. He had the open base. I mean, you're not going to find anybody in the game who's swinging the bat better than Zimmerman right now. With an open bag and 2 men on, why not pitch carefully? I mean, one guy's hitting 364 and the guy behind him's hitting $195. Now, Willingham is dangerous, don't get me wrong. This guy's not an easy guy to get out, but he's not swinging the bat like Zimmerman.
1 ball and no strikes.
You know, and you have to sort of know who you're pitching against, and obviously Zito does, and he knows that there's one hot hand you don't want to get beat by. With an open bag, take it.
Zito has 2 strikeouts. The first of the 2 was Willingham in the first. Two and 0. That was the one that Zito wanted Willingham to fish at. And now Zito's got to come in. He knows it. He goes off the mound, rubs up the baseball, and thinks about it. There's a strike. 2-1. Martis, Guzman, who made an out, Johnson at second, Zimmerman on at first, and it's 2-2. This was the home run off the fair pole off of Randy Johnson.
You heard it hit.
Holm and Zito trying to come together. And Holm says too important of a pitch, so let's talk about it.
Well, you made the point of the curveball, which was the strikeout pitch that Zito got Willingham with back in the first inning that ended it in the first. And you have to believe that Zito, with a 2-2 count, has an opportunity to throw that pitch down low in the strike zone to see if he can get him again.
Let's see if he does. Here it comes. Got him. Zito pitches out of this mess, and it stays 0-0. 6:30. The ball game will start at 7. The A's wrap up their homestand against Kansas City. Brian Bannister will be on the hill. So forget about all of that. Just check out Glenn Kuiper and Ray Fosse. Log on to csncalifornia.com to find out channel locations in your area.
Let's take a look at strike 3. Goes up top with a little slider above the hands. And Willingham cannot lay off, and you can see the reaction. Not happy about going out of the strike zone, chasing with the bases full.
It's not a pitch you actually look for.
No.
No, you look for something down. Hey, we got news coming out of New York where the Mets and Atlanta are now in the 11th inning.
That's good news if you're a Giant. You want the Mets to play, I'd say roughly 24 innings today.
Yeah, 24 would be good.
That'd be good. Beat up that bullpen.
Emmanuel Burris fouls this one down the left field line.
And you always pay attention to the team that you're playing as to what type of series that they have had prior to getting to your yard. And you see how many innings that bullpen has had to pitch.
Burris dumps one into center field, but right there is Dukes who makes the catch. And here's Edgar Renteria. Renteria singled in the first inning. Hit a ball right off the glove of Zimmerman, and he takes a strike. Giants wasted an opportunity in the first. Runners at second and third with only one out. And after a game-winning home run last night, figured the Giants had the right guy at the plate, but Pablo Sandoval on the first pitch bounced one back to Martis. 0-2 to Renteria. Down low. No swing. 1-2. A lot of kids at the park today.
Yeah, day games, you should see a bunch of kids. Look out.
Look out, look out, look out, look out.
So put down in Martis in his scouting report, not afraid to come inside. And put a little asterisk right there. If you don't believe us, ask Edgar Renteria.
Right. Got him.
Change-up payoff pitch and a good one. Well, today at 5, check out Chronicle Live, presented by Autotrader.com. You'll see it on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We're going to talk to the Cal football head coach, Jeff Tedford, a neighbor of my partner, Dwayne Kuiper. And, always a great opportunity when you can talk to Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Joe Morgan, one of the greatest of all times. And you'll see it all today on Chronicle Live at 5 p.m., presented by Autotrader on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
2 outs. Randy Wynn steps up. Randy Wynn looked like he was going to take the first pitch no matter what, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
It's such a great 2-pitch combination. I mean, either way you go. You lead off with a changeup, you follow it up with a fastball, or you start with a fastball, you follow with a changeup. It's one of the best 1-2 punches in the game. And this guy's got good of each. Top of break a ball in the dirt.
Randy Wynn trying to put something together. Inside, it's 2-2. sharply on the ground, but Belliard to his right makes the play, and that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Martis. Fourth inning coming up. Here at AT Park, we have reached the fourth inning. 4 hits in the game, 3 by the Nationals. Here's Elijah Dukes. And Dukes with a huge swing and a miss.
Yeah, he was flailing at that changeup.
Just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, you got some big dudes when you're talking about Johnson, Zimmerman, Willingham, Dukes, Kearns.
Yeah, this would be a rough team to fight.
A bullet, and it's just inside the line. And Dukes is going to have a leadoff double. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
Hey guys, you mentioned Steve Holm is now homie, and he actually has a homie over on the other side of the Washington Nationals, and Nick Johnson. The two went to McClatchy High in Sacramento, played baseball together, and Steve told me to ask Nick specifically about when he struck him out. The two were also pitchers. Steve was a shortstop, Nick was a first baseman, but they also pitched, and Steve struck out Nick in an inter-squad game, and I asked Nick, and he said, yep, it's true. I've had to wear it for 15 years. They're still really good friends, though, guys.
Not for long. Here's Austin Kearns. Kearns pops it up. It's going to be a tough play, whether it's Ishikawa or Burris, and Burris hangs in there and makes the catch.
That's as good as a strikeout right there. Well, right now we're going to ask our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
Thank you. Who was the last Giant younger than Pablo Sandoval, who is 22 years, 274 days old, to hit a walk-off homer?
Mays, McCovey, Cepeda.
I know. They put those guys in the Hall of Fame.
Here's Belliard. And Dukes goes. Breaking ball. Holmes throw. And they got him. Nice play, Holmey.
Boy, indeed. You know, and really, I think one of the hardest things to do, we talk about pinch hitting, we talk about being in the bullpen, coming in after a long period where you're not playing, but when you're going to be a catcher and you have to be responsible for everything, and that includes throwing fundamentals, blocking fundamentals, and when you pull it off right, you really need to be applauded, and that was a great effort from Steve Holm.
1-1 now to Belliard.
Just not that easy to do.
Big slow breaking ball.
It's the worst possible pitch to throw off of that isn't in the dirt.
2 balls and 1 strike to Belliard. And a strike, 2-2.
Yeah, I don't think that steal attempt from Elijah Duke's a bad play at all. Trying to make something happen. You don't want to make the first or the third out at third, but the second out, it's worth a gamble.
Got him.
See ya.
That will retire the side. Zito with 4 strikeouts. Time for the offense to come alive. Sandoval to hit a walk-off home run. And if you said Jack Clark, then you would be right.
Nice going.
Was Jack the answer last night?
Well, you know, we always say it could be Mays, McCovey, or Cepeda. You can throw Jack Clark in there,
Everyone,
too.
everyone. Sandoval to lead things off. He's 0 for 1. Martis throws and it's low. 1 ball and no strikes. Travis Ishikawa and then Aaron Rowan. High fly ball left center field. Dukes drifting and Dukes reaches up and makes the catch. The most walk-offs since 1974. Yep, I'd say all those guys, if they don't have their plaque on the wall outside the ballpark, they all will.
Oh, yeah. Good hitters.
Ishikawa takes low.
And you know what? Money hitters. Every one of those guys wanted to bat with the game on the line. And Will Clark was amazing. He lived for that moment.
2-1 as Ishikawa tried to hit one out. Three balls and 1 strike. On the ground sharply into right field, a base hit for Ishikawa. Here's Aaron Rowan. For the Giants, only their 2nd hit in the game. Nice level swing by Ishikawa.
Hitting 244 now.
Rowan into the first inning with the bases loaded by popping out. Popped out to Zimmerman. Up high, 1-0. Rowan pops it up. Belliard makes the catch. 2 outs for Nate Sherholtz.
Well, you're right. Chiron Martis has just been fantastic today. The Giants have not been able to do a whole lot with him. They had an opportunity when they loaded the bases with 1 out in the first, but to no avail.
Nate Sherholtz bounced out to short. He's 0 for 1. Freddie Lewis still dinged up a little bit. Up high, 2-0. Right back to where it came from, and that will end the inning. Giants strand 1. Here comes inning number 5. 0-0.
All right, time for Subway Eat Fresh, Ask Kruk and Kite. Visit csnbayarea.com and ask us a question. We'll answer one again. This comes from Rose from Truckee. Which walk-off homer do you remember the most?
Brian Johnson.
No question. Brian Johnson. That was a good one.
All right. Bobby Thompson.
Pablo Sandoval. Come on.
Here's Nieves to lead things off. Slowly hit. Sandoval charges, throws, got him. 1 out.
1 pitch, 1 out. And speaking of walk-offs, let's take a look at last night's walk-off one more time. The only thing bad about that walk-off was they didn't really get a chance to enjoy it. They had to come back less than 12 hours later and tee it up for the day game today. But it was a beautiful thing.
Zito 2-0 to Martis. Martis reached on a Zito error in the third. And he throws a strike, 2-1. Driven into right center field. This is headed to Triple's alley. Scherholz is going to stop it before it rolls all the way out into that alleyway, and it's a double. Watch the Mets dugout. There's a coach that says, or the Nationals who just says the heck with it. He fires his drink. Heck with this.
Yeah. Walk-off home runs will make you do that if you're a coach or a manager or the guy that threw it. And right now, Steve Holm wants to come out and talk things over. I'm sure it has to do with signs of the runner at second base.
Here's what the manager for the Nationals said about the whole situation as far as closing out games. Tried everybody and their cousins. It's the losses that hurt the most. The ones where the closer doesn't close.
Oh, no question. That's the one that you go in that ninth inning and you've already got that thing hung up in your win column. And with 2 outs and nobody on, you know that the Nationals were already starting to celebrate. And when Pablo Sandoval hit that home run that ended it and won it for the Giants, you could just feel the entire Nationals dugout sink about a foot.
Two and one to Guzman. Martis with his lead at second. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Beautiful football. After every pitch, Barry Zito is turning around and he's looking at Emmanuel Burris as if to say, is this lead back here with this guy too big? If so, let's try and pick him off.
Got him. Nope. Fouled at the plate. Steve Holm tried to hang on, but Guzman stays alive. Martis with his lead at second. Hit on the ground to short. Renteria across the diamond. Just in time. 2 outs.
You used to do that too, by the way.
Edgar Renteria is the just-in-time shortstop in the National League.
And I'll repeat myself. You used to do that too.
Yeah, second.
You know, you always talk about timers in the outfield that would just time it to when they get to the ball. Well, infielders do the same thing where they get the ball to the first baseman just about a half step ahead of the runner every time. I'm not saying that pitchers appreciate that, because they don't.
Umpires don't.
No. I just think it's a way that a middle infielder messes with a runner.
Nick Johnson has a couple of hits. And a breaking ball started out too high, ended up too low. And tight, 2 balls and no strikes.
Gamers
ready to roll. Watching this 2-0 pitch coming up to Nick Johnson. 3-0.
Almost got him.
And a strike. 3-1.
And again, you really should see better pitches to hit when you're hitting ahead of a guy who's got a 30-game hitting streak, and that's exactly what Nick Johnson's doing. It's that spot in the lineup that I think the whole league would like to hit in.
The 3-1 pitch coming up. And a bullet and a base hit. And Nick Johnson has his 3rd hit. And he knocks in the first run of the game. And scoring is Martis, and it's 1-0 National.
Well, that's the problem with a 3-1 count. I mean, hitters can zero in on a pitch, on a speed, on a location. And when a big league hitter gets what he's looking for to the side of the plate that he's sitting on, he's going to square it up. And that was a loud swing of the bat.
Zimmerman is hit into a double play, and he's walked. Inside 1-0. I'd be surprised if Zito gives Zimmerman anything to hit.
Well, he shouldn't with an open first base. And really, I think the situation calls that he just gets intentionally walked. And you think, well, why is Bruce Bochy pitching to him in this situation with an open base? Well, sometimes you think that managers, just because of the situation, the guy's got a 30-game hitting streak, that may influence his decision to pitch to him. I think if I was a manager, I'd do the same thing. These pitchers out there pitching well. I know you have an open base, and at the very least, it would allow Barry Zito a chance to just kind of corner pitch him. But you don't want to have a guy taking at bat and then intentionally walk him 3 times to ruin a 30-game hitting streak. And I know the game is more important. Don't get me wrong here. But you're watching Zito pitch him as the way he should with an open first base. And I think basically the trust that Zito is getting from his manager tells you how this situation should be addressed. Pitch to him, but carefully.
On the ground, Renteria, and Zimmerman retired. A run for the Nationals. It's 1-0.
Well, check out the Giants Holiday 6-pack. It gives you access to 6 great holiday games. The package includes big games on Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, and Saturday, June 13th against the A's. 6-packs start at only $89 and are available in bleachers or view reserve. For more information, log on to sfgiants.com.
A strike to Steve Holm, followed by Zito and then Emmanuel Burris. Giants with only 2 hits in this game. Burris reached on a walk. Ishikawa was hit by a pitch. And that's your base runners. 4. Down low to Holm. Holm breaks his bat. Zimmerman cuts it off. Off balance throw. 1 out. And here's Zito.
Well, it was a 1-out base hit by the Nationals pitcher Martis that started things off for him in the 5th. Maybe Barry Zito can return the favor.
Zito lined out to short in the 2nd. And a strike. Martis with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. He's moved the ball around. Kept the Giants off balance. Zito lines another one to the shortstop.
2 good at bats. He's got nothing to show for it.
Sportsnet Central will be tonight at 6 o'clock right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Bay Area, an in-depth sports look around the Bay Area. Go deep with Sportsnet Central. Here's Burris. So who's the guy that's hit the ball the best off of Martis? Barry Zito.
2 good at bats. 2 line drives right at Guzman. 2 big league hang rhythms.
Just a little high to Burris. Pitch count is good for Martis. Two and 0. And the strike. It looked like Emmanuel Burris was taking all the way. By the way, the Atlanta Braves beat the Mets in extra innings 8-7. On the ground, charged by Zimmerman. He kicks it into the air, recovers and throws to first. And that'll do it. Through 5, it's 1-0 Washington. To face Josh Willingham. And the first pitch is high. It will be Willingham, Dukes, and Kearns. Nationals have made the most out of their 6 hits. They got a run. This is hit high into right center field. Rowan is on the move, and Rowan will make the catch.
All right, it is the 6th inning. That means it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. And we go to Elijah Dukes at second base. 1 out. He tries to steal third as Steve Holmes shoots a seed right down to Pablo Sandoval. And we're going to take one more look at it. And yo, Mr. Dukes, you are gone. That is our Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Here's the pitch to Dukes, and Dukes bunts it foul. Yeah, the one thing about Elijah Dukes that people might not realize is, for a guy his size, he runs very well. And Korea knows he has to hurry. Got him. Just got him.
He's a timer. I like it.
Best I ever played with in the major leagues. Did this all the time. And it was Frank Duffy. And he'd get Ralph Garr and Boog Powell by the same amount of margin.
One guy was running 3.7, the other guy was running 5.7. Yeah, Manny Trio had a little bit of that in him.
But he didn't try to do it. He just knew how much time he had with every hitter. And I think Renteria is probably a lot like that. Kearns is 0 for 2. Up and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Good breaking ball, 1 and 2.
Everything he's throwing up there's got finish. And I can't emphasize that word enough, because you have finish, that means you get late movement. And the beautiful thing about what he's been able to do is control it to the corners. He just doesn't make many mistakes out over the plate.
Kearns stays alive. It's 2 and 2.
What do you think? Is it sinking?
Well, you would think it was. Just inside, 3 and 2.
I mean, where they are in the Bay, you don't want it going down right now, because they got a ways to swim if that thing goes down.
I think it's good. Here's the payoff to Kearns, and it's low. Only the second walk issued by Zito. I don't think they go too fast, do they?
Well, no. They've got 8 gerbils on a rubber band. That's the engine. I like the windshield wipers going on. That's added flavor.
Belliard is flied out and he's struck out. Way outside. It does have a certain appeal, I'll say that.
It looks like fun. It really does.
High again to Belliard.
Now this becomes a big pitch.
And Zito flops one in there. It's 2 and 1.
And that's what that little changeup kind of does. It kind of flops. But he can make that thing kind of come into a righty and away from a righty.
Well, they are the wicked hack, 2-2. A run on 6 hits, 5 left for the Nationals. For the Giants, no runs, 2 hits in air, and 4 left. Zito is 2 pitches away from 100, just to give you a gauge as to where he's at in this game. The third inning was the stressful inning for Zito. Now it's a full count, and Kearns will take off. The way the offense is going today for the Giants, they need to keep this at a 1-run deficit. 3-2. Here's the pitch. Got him. Belliard swung right through it. And now Renteria will lead things off.
Magazine, and today I had a chance to sit down with Big Money, Benji Molina, for a very candid talk about all things baseball and about his late father, Ben Hameen, who passed away last October and was a huge influence in Benji's life and in baseball. You're not going to want to miss it. You can see it June 5th, GMAG, right here on CSN Bay Area. Dwayne?
All right, Amy. Renteria, Wynn, Sandoval facing Chiron Martis. Here's the pitch to Renteria, and a swing and a miss. Giants have not been able to get to this kid. Actually, the first inning they had an opportunity and didn't cash in. After that, they've only had 1 base runner, and that was a base hit by Travis Ishikawa. Foul back, 0-2. And the right-hander throws, and Renteria pulls it on the ground to Zimmerman. Not only will our best ball players be honored at this year's All-Star game, but many unsung heroes in our local communities will be honored too. MLB and People Magazine have teamed up to honor ordinary citizens who have served their community in extraordinary ways. Now through May 22nd, you can nominate a deserving community All-Star by visiting peopleallstars.com. A total of 30 finalists will be honored at the All-Star Game in St. Louis on July 14th. Nominate someone today at peopleallstars.com. Randy Wynn fouls it out of play.
He was on it. First pitch changeup. Right now, the way he's swinging the bat, you fool him, you have to make good pitches.
Oh, and 2.
Got a mistake there. Just missed it. You know, it's amazing when you get a mistake like that, you foul it straight back, and the hitter's mind, they want to see that same pitch. It never happens. But everybody thinks that, oh, I want that one back.
That's why you should never look for it again. In tight, 1-2.
On the flip side of that coin, when you're out there and you're pitching, you throw one like that, a guy fouls it back, you're saying, oh, don't throw that one again.
Out of play. On the ground, just foul.
That's close. Giants just have not been able to figure out this 22-year-old right-hander. Got a good battle going here, though.
Well, he's also had a number of very quick outs, which keeps his pitch count at a good pace. Two and two. It's a good battle, Randy Wynn and Martis. Three and two.
Yeah, this has been a good at bat.
Sandoval on deck. And he walked it.
That's a big look at that. Well, check out Comcast Sportsnet California, and you can do that tonight at 6:30, and you'll see the pregame show that goes right on before the A's going to take on the Royals. That game will be at 7 o'clock. The A's wrap up their homestand against the Kansas City Royals. Brian Bannister pitches for the Royals, and you can see it all on Comcast Sportsnet California. That's where the A's are. Log on to csncalifornia.com to find out channel locations in your area.
Sandoval is bounced out and he's flied out. Off the plate. Win with a pretty good sized lead. Ooh, outside corner to even the count.
That's a fine line out there as to what's a ball and what's a strike. I think Jerry Davis' strike zone today has been good. He's been very consistent with it.
Win goes. Sandoval hits a pop-up. I believe it's going to be out of play, and it is. Let's see if Bruce Bochy lets Randy Wynn take off again. He does not, and it's low, and it's 2-2.
Good 0-2 pitch right there, especially to a guy with a reputation like Sandoval who likes to chase.
A 2-2 pitch can be, as they like to say, an action count. And we'll see if we get any action out of Randy Wynn. Outside, and Randy Wynn will stumble a little bit, and it may have been a good thing.
Well, Martise, he definitely helps himself out. He's pretty quick out of the stretch. That last unload time was 1.14 seconds. And that's excellent.
We will see Randy Wynn take off on this pitch.
Oh, yeah. I bet a month's salary on it.
He goes. Sandoval fouls it back. Martis elevated that fastball. Wynn goes again. Out of play. Andy Wynn's going to get a workout because Sandoval can do this for a couple of days. Randy Wynn's in good shape.
Oh, yeah, he can do this all day. Not a problem.
He goes. Foul back.
Well, it'll definitely test you, your endurance, because there's a lot riding on it. I mean, if it's a swing through strike three, I mean, you better get a good jump or it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out.
That's right.
I mean, perhaps it's a bit easier with 2 outs because you're not really going to end the inning if the hitter strikes out. So you've got to get a good jump in this 3-2-1 out situation.
This will be the 9th pitch coming up. Julian Tavares down to the bullpen. Wynn goes. Sandoval strikes out. The throw down to second is not in time. I think that caught Randy Wynn right in the chest.
I think you're right. But you know, it's little incidents like this that really let you know who your big leaguers are. And Randy Wynn indeed gets a one-hop chest bomb. The hand to the chest. Oh, look like gun in the hand. But the fact that he did it right. I mean, he had a pretty good jump. Got himself a stolen bag with 1 out on the swing through strike 3. That just tells you a lot about the guy and about his game.
He's feeling this one.
Yeah, you're totally relaxed. The last thing you do is thinking about this. He's trying to shake it off, and he's not having any luck.
Tying run now at second base for Travis Ishikawa. Ishikawa's been on base twice. He singled in the 4th. Not this time. And Martis is going to get out of the inning with a comebacker. 7th inning coming up. 1-0 Nationals.
Now Sunday is a sellout. But a reminder, the first 20,000 fans are going to get through the gates, and they're going to get a Tim Lincecum bobblehead courtesy of Esurance. Now, hard to get premium seats for this series are available at StubHub.com. That's right. I know it's a sellout, but you can still check out StubHub. You might be able to get some tickets there. We recommend it. It's the only site with Fan Protect guarantee. So go online to StubHub and check it out.
Strike to Nieves, who's bounced out twice, so it's still a 1-0 game. It seems like we've been here before with this score.
Yeah, I think 1-0's a little overrated when you get the nothing.
And a base hit to left field for Nieves. And with Martis coming up, you get a pretty good idea what the pitcher is going to do here. Joaquin Valdez headed down to the bullpen.
102 pitches on the day for Zito.
The bunt. Zito thought about it and throws to first. Wise move. 1 out.
Did everything right, though. You bounce off that bag, and when you see a ball come directly back to you on the mound, you're thinking you got a chance at second. Especially with a catcher on first base. But Will Nieves runs pretty well for a catcher, but then you see the look to first, and he opts for the sure out. You've got to get an out. That's the one thing. If the one at there is second, great. If not, get the one at first. But you got to get one.
Guzman 1 for 3. Nice block by Steve Holm. It's 1 ball and no strikes. The San Francisco Hornblower is in the Cove. Just stopping by to say hello.
Yeah, just checked in the Cove.
Now pickoff play is put on.
I like it when the hornblower checks in. It checks in just to tip its cap to the great Willie McCovey, Giants Hall of Famer, who's always here. And we like that.
I like it when they all come by and check in.
Yeah.
Come on, Barry.
It's left up high. It's 2-0. The statue of Big Mac. On the ground and a base hit. Nieves did not get any jump at all, so he will stop at third. And here comes Nick Johnson, who's 3 for 3, and Dave Righetti's coming out.
Nick Johnson last night with a big swing of the bat that gave his team the lead. And this was a swing that came in the 8th inning.
I think it made it 5-4.
Yeah, that's a homer that came in the 7th inning, I beg your pardon. And it did make it 5-4, but it was the big swing of the bat that got them back in the game. And an opposite field bomb. So Dave Righetti talking things over with Zito right now as to how they want to go after this.
And a lot of backspin.
Which is how you're supposed to hit the ball. You're trying to get that backspin to get some carry. And I think the message from Righetti is, you pitch for that ground ball early in the count. You pitch for the strikeout late. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. That's a strikeout situation. But if you can get a ground ball, you haven't got a lot of speed. With Johnson in the box, get a ball on the ground, and the Giants are going to play their middle infielders back at double play depth in anticipation of this.
And Zito starts Johnson off with a called strike, and it's 0-1. 2 singles and a double this afternoon for Nick Johnson. Out of play, it's 0-2.
Now you're pitching for one thing. You're pitching for the strikeout. Hey, if you get the ground ball double play out of the strikeout situation, hey, you'll take it. But you're ahead 0-2, runner at third, less than 2 out. You're trying to punch this guy out.
0-2. Out of play. Johnson fighting that high fastball off.
Come on, Barry!
Renteria and Burris waiting for a ground ball. Burris is going to try for it. They get one, and everybody's safe as Renteria had that ball kicked out of his glove. So coming in to score is Nieves, and it's 2-0.
Well, Emmanuel Burris trying to get the lead out of the double play, and he kind of throws into the runner. I think it's a good call by second base umpire Mark Wegner. And that Renteria never really had a handle on that ball.
Zimmerman has bounced out twice. He's also walked. Remember, he's sitting on as that pitch is in the dirt, and that changes the whole inning. Remember, he's sitting on a 30-game hitting streak.
And the 4 fingers just went up.
I think now they're going to walk him.
That is the move you have to make if you're Bruce Bochy. You don't have a choice in this. And I don't think that was easy for him. The responsibility of Bochy is not to the hitting streak, it's to the game. But that doesn't make it any less painful.
Here's what he did in the first inning. The double play where he hit the ball hard. He walked in the 3rd inning. And he bounced out in the 5th. So we got a new pitcher when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Zito with a nice hand. Comes in, it's 2-0 Nationals.
There's the numbers for Marquín Valdez. 10th time he's taken the ball, 1-0. Valdez is throwing the ball very hard of late. You're looking at 94 to 99 mile per hour fastballs. He's got a slider and he's got a changeup to go with that fastball. But he's got a lot of confidence in number one right now.
Willingham has struck out twice and he's flied out. One ball and no strikes. Tough spot for Valdez. He has to throw strikes here.
Well, and getting strike one will do wonders to relax him. But every pitch you throw that is not a strike, it gets harder to throw a strike. That's how that works when you come right out of a bullpen, especially with the bags full.
That's pulled on the ground, foul. Bill Hartman, our ball dude, down the left field line. Guzman, Johnson, and Zimmerman are your base runners. A run in. The Nationals trying to go large here in the 7th. High, 2-1.
When he gets that ball down around the knees, it's a good pitch to get a ground ball with. And I'm talking about the fastball. Well, if his glove was not broken in before that line drive, it's broken in now. You cannot hit a ball any louder than that. And how much time did he have? Not much.
Man, that thing was scorched.
I mean, the guys on the base paths had no time to stray away from the bag. That was an easy freeze on a line drive for them. No chance for double play.
Here's Elijah Dukes. Out of play. Remember, you got to be careful with all of these Nationals hitters. Ball back, 0-2.
Two challenges, 99 on the first pitch, 98 on the second pitch. There's another look at just how quickly that line drive got on to Sandoval.
Dukes steps out. Valdez takes a walk. He's ahead in the count. 0-2. Outside 1-2.
One thing about Marquín Valdez, I mean, he has consistently brought flame into the game. And that was a concern. Remember, of all the arm problems he's had over the years, and they rebuilt the elbow, and then but you always worried about what type of resiliency that arm had. And I think a lot of times guys who go through his problems, they have a tendency to baby the arm. And I think he did baby the arm a bit. But now, you can roll him out of bed at midnight and go warm up, and he'll throw 99.
Well, there was a time in spring training where the thought around the clubhouse was he just didn't want to let it go after the arm problem.
Well, it's a concern for everybody who's had an arm surgery. You have to get to that point where you just say, you know what, the heck with it. Here we go. If it blows, it blows. I'm going to be stacking paint cans at Home Depot. I'll be stacking paint cans. Let's find out.
1-2. Into center field, Renteria can't get it. 2 runs are going to come in. It's 4-0. Well, somewhere the Nationals are saying that's justice. Duke with a broken bat single.
Kind of a hang and break it ball right out there, way ahead in the count. 0-2, and you hang a location mistake at the belt, and guys aren't going to miss this.
There's a strike to Austin Kearns.
And I think that's where you can see where Marquín Valdez has to improve. I mean, he has a changeup, and it's a swing and miss pitch, but he doesn't throw it that often. And the slider, he hasn't been throwing that much of the slider as well. And when he does throw it, it's a bit inconsistent with the location. And when he's being used late in the ball game or walking into a situation like this with the bases full, location mistakes, they hurt you.
Well, plus if it's a slider, and I mean, if it's not a good slider, you speed the hitter's bat up. 1-2. Three runs here in the 7th. Foul back. Austin Kearns has bounced out, he's popped out, and he's drawn a walk. Out of play again. Nine hits now for the Nationals. They've had 3 this inning. Dribbled out in front of home plate. Valdez gets to it quickly. Nice play, Rich Aurelia. Wow, that is disaster written all over it. 4-0. Nats. Zimmerman is 0 for 2 today with a couple of walks. Martis has been outstanding. Zito pitched very well But not a whole lot of luck. Ishikawa in this series is 6 for 10 with 3 runs batted in. That's our McDonald's game summary.
Nice play from Marquín Valdez. This was not easy. Had a little obstacle too with Steve Holm coming in on a slide and Rich Aurelia somehow staying in contact with the bag despite the distraction from Austin Kearns. And right now the Giants have some work to do.
Indeed they do, and Aaron Rowan will try to start things off as he falls behind 0-1. Martis has only walked 2. He's only struck out 2. He's been very effective. Giants will take a walk. And it's high. 3 balls and a strike. Justin Miller in the Giants' pen. And that's the walk we're talking about, and that's how it all got started.
Just a little walk. It looked so innocent at the time. The Nationals have had problems in their bullpen. And the goal, if you're playing them, is to get into that bullpen. And Martis has been pretty stingy through 6 and into the 7th.
Nate Scherholtz is 0 for 2. Scherholtz fouls it back. Couple of ground balls for Scherholtz. 1 to short, and then he hit a little dribbler back to the pitcher. Off the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Into center field. Back goes Duke, still going back. And he will put it away. Here's Steve Holm. Holm has popped out and he's bounced out. Remember, the Giants only have 2 hits in this game. That's after pounding out 14 on Monday and 10 last night. Holm takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Rowan, who drew a walk, is at first. That's headed in our direction. Aurelia to follow. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Uses that outside corner so well. He's got movement that runs back in towards the right. He'll start that thing out of the way and just sort of let it come back across the outside corner. He's a tough guy to pull.
2-2. Giants need base runners. Holm acted like he was upset with himself, and I know why.
Well, he's a guy that will definitely take a bullet for his club, and that was his opportunity to do that very thing. And he just sort of let his instincts play dodgeball, and he knew that was a free 90 feet. So he's doing a little self-scolding right now. If he had it over again, I think he'd take that one. Right in the arm. Kind of came up in there and he had a chance. I mean, it would have been a bruise for a base, but for Steve Holm, he'll jump all over that opportunity.
That's why. Just wear the 50 XXX jersey.
Yeah.
Kind of like the sport coat I was wearing towards the end of the year last year.
I like that sport coat. The fact that they cut it out of the Wrigley Field tarp, it meant nothing to me.
3-2 to Steve Holm. And he walked it.
Great at bat.
It was a good attack. They end up getting Martis out of the game.
Well, Manny Acta does not want to go into that pin, so he may extend him out. It's 105 pitches on the day for Martis. One thing he is not going to do, he's not going to let this young 22-year-old arm take a loss. He will protect it in that regard. Now Randy St. Clair's going to go out there and talk to him. I mean, these 2 walks are basically a rally for free, and the Giants haven't even broke out the ground attack yet.
Worst, tied for most, second most.
ERA, blown saves, hits allowed. Those are stats you can't be proud of if you're a bullpen. And you can understand the reluctance of Manny Acta to get to that bullpen when you have a young arm out there who's been dominant all afternoon.
Here's Rich Aurelia batting for the first time. The kid from Brooklyn. Rowan at second, Holm at first. Base runners. And that's going to help everybody out. Rowan and Holm advance.
Well, that is a big pitch, only because you got a sinker ball out there, a guy who can get ground balls, and now all of a sudden he just lost the force. And he does it in a fashion that doesn't even give Nieves a chance. Slider way wide of the target.
One ball and no strikes to Rich Aurelia. Of course, the infield will play back. And you still have to keep in mind the Giants need base runners. 1 ball and 1 strike. High fly ball, left field. Willingham will make the catch. Rowan will score, and Holm to third.
That was not an easy play for Willingham as he had to battle the sun. I do not think he's going to be very disappointed when they tell him he gets to go home after the game.
Well, also it just missed it from Rich Aurelia.
I mean, he didn't even know where that ball was. He didn't even watch it into his glove. He just estimated as to where he thought it would be, put the glove up and turned his head. How about that? He loves it here.
Emmanuel Burris up the middle. Guzman got him. Giants are on the board. It's 4-1 as we head to the 8th.
That's why I'm glad I slide on my right side. I got my back to it. Good, Pablo. Ball caught him.
Well, we want to thank Aaron Rowan for helping us out on Wired Wednesday. There you see the line score, 4-1 Nationals through 7. We're heading to the top of the 8th. 30,120 in attendance today.
Here's Justin Miller facing Ronnie Belliard, and Belliard fouls at that.
Justin Miller's been pitching the ball beautifully. Been very consistent with all of the pitches that he has had, and the curveball in particular has been one he needs to make a pitch, he can go right to it. 10 strikeouts in 15 and a third, 18 base runners in 15 and a third. Those are good numbers, and that's that breaking ball we're talking about. Is a good one.
And Belliard went around, and he kind of figured he did, but he tried to act like he did. Jeff Kellogg said, "No, you did."
Yes, he did, by a bunch, I might add. Hat trick today for Belliard. You can tell he loves a day game after night game.
I'm sitting on 2. Oh, yeah.
First date.
I got my hat and I got my lady. And I'm at the ball game. What else do I need?
I bet they came in a pickup truck. Oh, yeah.
They have a single in the 7th. It's what got things going for the Nationals when they scored 3 times. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Talking about that breaking ball, he was just so dialed. A 1-0 count, just go out there and paint it the knees away. And he's been doing that all year.
Got the corner, 1 and 2.
And again.
Got him.
Stayed right out there in the outside corner with that tight little breaking ball. I mean, he's just peeling black off that outside corner. So he's faced 2 and 2 quick strikeouts. And right now, Justin Miller is showing you that he's pitching with a lot of confidence. And Bruce Bochy and Dave Righetti are taking notice.
Adam Dunn's going to pinch hit. A big fella not in the lineup today. I figured we would eventually see him, and we do here in the 8th inning with 2 outs. Which means he's going to try to yank one. Pablo Sandoval is going to have his hands full with this one. Panda battling, and he puts it away to end the inning. Here come the Giants. Renteria wins. Sandoval
Baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has low fares with no hidden fees. Book now at southwest.com, where what you see is what you pay. By Chevron with Techron. No other gasoline has more cleaning power. And by Comcast HD, with more HD than anyone, period.
Yeah, the Bay Bridge as it heads into Treasure Island here. It's 4-1 Nationals as Joe Beimel facing Edgar Renteria, and a breaking ball for a strike. So Beimel had to sleep on the one last night. He's back out here today going after Renteria, Wynn, and Sandoval, and those are his numbers.
Well, up until last night, he's been having a good year. Just the one blemish, and that was the loss last night. Threw-in shot he gave up to Pablo Sandoval. When we've seen Joe Beimel in the past, been very consistent down around the knees with that slider sinker combination.
Renteria trying to bunt his way on, looks at it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Zimmerman maybe came in a half a step, but not a whole lot. You might see Renteria try it again. Puts it on the ground past Zimmerman. Renteria's going for 2. And a leadoff double for Edgar Renteria.
And think about it. We talked about the game last night that Beimel had. We gave up the 3. Can't be having a lot of confidence here. Another mistake above the belt, and Renteria jumps all over it. So what confidence he had left just got spanked around a bit more.
Nieves goes out to talk to Beimel. Randy Wynn is 0 for 2. He drew a walk in the 6th. Giants are trying to come up with another game where they've got late inning magic. And Wynn bluffs a bunt. 1 ball and no strikes.
Kip Wells now starting to get loose from Maniacta.
Up the middle. Billiard has it. Off balance throw. Got him. Nice play.
Well, indeed it was. And we're talking about maybe 8 inches he was out. And this is the play that separates the men from the boys. If you're a big league second baseman, you got speed running down the line. Because you don't have time to set your feet. It's an off balance throw.
I think that ball, Mike rolled up his arm a little bit and he recovered. Here's the home run by Sandoval last night.
A 2-2 challenge fastball. They left it out over the plate. And Sandoval knew exactly what to do with it. Home run number 3. And it meant the world to the Giants.
And a strike on a breaking ball, 0-1. One out with Renteria at third. Down the right field line, foul. Sandoval kind of served it into right field.
I'm not really sure how he hit that ball. By the time he got wood on it, was about 8 inches above the ground, off the plate away. Right in his wheelhouse. All right, let's check it out. How did he get it? He's amazing.
He went down and got it. Up the middle and a base hit. And it's 4-2.
And those little seeds of doubt that were in the back of Bimel's mind, they're now a full-blown conversation. Another mistake to location, a ball up and away. And with 2 strikes again, for the second day in a row, he beats him on a base hit.
Benji Molina will hit for Miller.
Last night, Kip Wells, the first pitch breaking ball, and he did this to Kip Wells.
Well, I think Maniacta likes a challenge, because I think he's going to bring Kip Wells into the game when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
ERA, 9 hits, 9 walks allowed in 18 2/3. That's too many walks. And a guy who's got that kind of walk total in 12 innings, he can't have the greatest feel and confidence in his location. And those are guys that make location mistakes, and that's exactly what Benji Molina is looking for as he steps into that batter's box. Wells is a pitcher who'll throw low to mid-90s with his fastball, and he's got curveball, slider, changeup. For most of his career, he's been a starter. You see the Giants come back win in each of the last 3 games. 7 times they've come back, and they're trying to do it again.
Benji Molina. With Sandoval at first. 1 out, a run in. Ooh, outside corner strike. Molina hit his home run last night right down the line. Dukes, however, is shading Molina into right center field. Out of play, 0-2. So a couple of good location pitches by Kip Wells.
Fastball down and away at the knees is right to the wheelhouse of Benji Molina. And we're talking serious business here. That's where he likes the ball.
On the ground, foul. It stays 0-2. Pretty confident team right now when it comes to being able to score late. Molina hits a high drive to left. Willingham back. Willingham at the wall, and he makes the catch. 2 outs.
Wow. He had me convinced. I thought he got it. Just a little too high. A little bit of hang on the breaking ball. He left the bat. It had backspin and carry, and it's just a matter of did it have enough? Did it have enough? Oh.
I don't think Kip Wells wanted to watch.
One of the few ballparks that ball will stay in.
Here's Rowan. Rowan off his fist, bounces it to short, and that'll end the inning. Giants pick up a run. We'll go to the 9th. It's 4-2.
The Ford quality drive of the game. And for that, we go back to the 7th inning. It was a 3-run inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Elijah Dukes breaks a bat, throws a single up center field that would score another couple of runs and lead to a 3-run 7th. And that was the big blow. That is our Ford quality drive of the game.
So we get to see Pat Mish for the first time this year. Mish will face Guzman Johnson and then Ryan Zimmerman. Guzman fouls it out of play.
Mish had good numbers down in Fresno. Fastball, curveball, slider, change pitcher with really good breaking balls. In 11 games for the Grizzlies this year, he went 2-0 with 2.45 ERA.
And quickly out in front, 0-2. Yep, he's back watching the dogs.
Yeah, dog walker.
Very high, 1-2.
You thought it was going to be easy to be a dog walker, huh?
Yeah, when it's 2 dogs. And that's just a foul ball. See, little things like leashes, tangling would drive me nuts. I could never do that.
Well, one rule we have with being a dog walker, everybody has to get along. If you're an alpha, you got to stay home.
Foul ball. Well, getting along seems to not be a problem at all. But the one that usually starts the most trouble is the one that's the smallest.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 to Guzman. High, 2-2.
That's true in life, too. At least it's the way it is in our house.
3-2. Nish certainly does not want to walk Guzman, so this should be something for Guzman to hit. It is, and it's a bullet. That's the 3rd hit for Guzman, and that's what happens when you go 3-2.
He is hitting .390 now after his 3-hit day. You're right, 3-2. You have to challenge. You got to make him swing the bat, and that is just a fastball to his liking.
Nick Johnson is 3 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. At the knees, 0-1.
Pat Mish trying to keep it right there at 2 runs.
Down the left field line, that is going to be foul.
You can hold that deficit down to 2 runs. I mean, it's pretty easy to get that tie and run up there at the plate. And there's another obstacle. Zimmerman 0 for 2 today with a couple of walks.
Inside, 1-2. And tight again, same pitch, 2-2. Remember, the Mets are in town starting tomorrow night. A 4-game series. Another base hit for Johnson, and they're going to hold Guzman. And the Nationals will have runners at 1st and 3rd. And Zimmerman is sitting on a 30-game hitting streak, and he's 0 for 2. Now, twice he's been in this spot where he needed a hit in his 4th at bat, or make that his 5th at bat, and twice he's come through.
Well, he said he was having fun with the streak. Tried to keep things in perspective, but when you get to 30 games and you're on your last at bat to try and extend, I think it gets a little bit bigger than what you admit to.
Big breaking ball, and it's 0-1. On the ground, Renteria on the backhand. They get it out there, and Burris was checking on the runner at third. And Zimmerman is going to get a nice ovation, and many are standing here at the ballpark.
And they're applauding a remarkable achievement. 30-game hit streaks just don't come around very often.
Here's Willingham. Willingham pops one into shallow center field. Rowan's got a long run, and it's going to fall in between Sherholtz and Rowan. And in the second with a double is Willingham, and a run comes in.
You know, when you play deep, it's one of the things that you're going to have problems with, that short fly ball. And Willingham off the end of the bat just kind of throws it out there in no man's land. Could not have placed it any better. Right between Rowan, right between Sherholtz.
Outside to Dukes, so give Willingham an RBI. Swing and a miss. Elijah Dukes has a couple of hits. The Nationals have 12. Some of the hits in this series for the Nationals: 15 on Monday, 13 yesterday, and 12 today. You think the Giants are fortunate?
Yeah, I do. This is a team that can hit. I mean, they came into today's ball game and they ranked third in the National League in hitting.
Dukes on a check swing roller, and Aurelia's coming home, and not in time. Zimmerman beat the throw. A little hesitation by Rich Aurelia.
And that's all it took. A little hesitation opened up the door. Aurelia took one half step towards first baseline, and Zimmerman right in there avoiding the swipe tag from home. And plate umpire Jerry Davis right there signaling the correct call, as he was safe.
Here's Kearns, so 2 runs in here in the 9th. As the Nationals extend out their lead, and Kearns takes inside for a ball. All started out with a 3-2 pitch to Guzman, who doubled. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mish will check on Dukes.
Keep that force in order, get a ground ball, minimize the damage. I think Mish's best bet to get a ground ball is off his breaking balls. He doesn't have a lot of sink on his fastball.
Outside, 3-1. The Nationals go home. They have a day off tomorrow, and then they host the Phillies in a 4-game series.
Hey, you said their homestand was what, 11 games?
I believe it is. Strike at the knees, 3-2.
Yeah, you don't usually talk about crunch time coming in May, but for a team that's 10 games under 500 or 11 games under 500, I mean, this is an important homestand for them as they come home.
3-2 pitch out of play. The Saturday game against the Phillies, it really is Saturday games. It's a day-night doubleheader.
Well, you know what they're saying in that National dugout?
We can hang with anybody. And now they got Dukes picked off, and Aurelia goes to Burris. And Burris goes to Aurelia, who tags out Dukes. One, 3, 4-3 on the pickoff.
I think they're saying let's hit so that we can get another at bat for Zimmerman.
Yeah, hit around. Just one of the many things that they're saying.
They're talking about all kinds of things there.
3-2. And on the ground to Renteria. Renteria just got him.
He's a timer.
6-2 Nationals. Giants have some work to do. Brian Bannister will pitch for the Royals. Comcast Sportsnet California, where the A's are. Log on to csncalifornia.com to find out channel locations in your area. And for the pre and post game, Paul Zavella is going to be joining the crew. So check it out. (6-2) Nationals. A lot of the focus today on Ryan Zimmerman, who came into the game with a 30-game hitting streak. And today he's 0 for 3 with 2 walks. Here's Nate Sherholtz. And that got Nieves no balls and 1 strike. Fred Lewis is on deck. Out of play, it's 0-2. Nate Scherholtz 0 for 3 this afternoon, 0 for 3 in the game last night. And Scherholtz fouls it at the plate to stay alive.
Just got a piece of that breaking ball. It's good use of an 0-2 count for Kip Wells. Throwing that breaking ball, you say to yourself, I'm going to bounce this on home plate.
Just like I'm bouncing this finger on somebody in front of me.
Well, that is that child's job. They figure out that foam finger at an early age. It's magic.
0-2 pitch. Scherholtz hauls it back. You know, you can buy the most expensive toys for kids, and they'll take a foam finger every time.
Oh, give me the foam finger.
Problem is you can't let him chew it. 0-2 to Scherholtz. Scherholtz into right center field. A good ride, and it's going to fall. Scherholtz, who is on the move, is going to go for 3, and he'll make it. He can run.
Talked about how important it was for the Giants to come back in last night's ball game. You do that, and you start thinking, you know what, we can do this, whatever the deficit. And that little swing of the bat there from Nate Scherholtz will definitely chirk things up in the Giants dugout. And let's watch Scherholtz go. Get ideas of stopping at second. Say, no, I can do this. Stand up triple.
Freddie Lewis will hit. Lewis takes low.
Kip Wells takes a look at that bullpen for the Nationals, and it's empty.
Closed. Door is shut.
He's the guy.
Outside, 2-0.
Giants looking for base runners, walks and knocks.
Lewis shoots it out of play. Lewis cut Yevis again, and he's ticked off. He's thinking, listen, I want to enjoy that flight home. I don't want to be dinged up, have ice bags all over the place.
He's getting abused right now. That one caught him right on the side of his left wrist, I believe. Looked for a second there like he wanted to throw his glove out at Fred Lewis.
Two pitch. You take 3-2.
That's exactly what Nieves wanted. He saw the hand action. He patted the ground. He wanted that below the strike zone.
Well, the tying run for the Giants is still in the dugout. Out of play.
Good pitch, good fight off.
Remember, come on out to the Series against the Mets. Just go to sfgiants.com. Tomorrow night, Jonathan Sanchez against John Maine. The 3-2 to Lewis. Lewis shoots it foul right over Sherholtz. Nice play by the old left-hander.
The old left-hander.
Look at that. He made a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even know each other. Make one play, and you get mobbed.
Well, that's the way it should be. Got a babe.
You bring your glove, and magic happens.
Yeah, you bring your glove, you get a wife.
3-2 pitch. Lewis into left center field. Willingham's not going to get it. Here come the Giants. Lewis has got a double. It's 6-3.
Nice at bat. Nice at bat, and very quickly, Joel Hanrahan starts to get up for the Nationals. A 3-2 challenge fastball, middle away, and Fred Lewis stays inside it. And hits a bolt off the wall in left field.
Here's Rich Aurelia. Randy St. Clair comes out.
You see Hanrahan, who had been the closer at the start of the year, starting to get stretched out. Randy St. Clair talking to Kip Wells. Right now, this is just, you got to go out and pump the guy up. The problem is, you sat there and you watched the game last night as a National, and you had some seeds of doubt planted when the Giants came back with a 3 spot in the ninth to win that ball game in comeback fashion. And if you're a pitching coach, you're going to go out there and you're going to try and make sure that those seeds of doubt are not starting to grow, and you just pump your guy up.
Here's Aurelia. And Aurelia trying to sneak his way on, takes a strike.
Well, he'll do that. I mean, he always gets in that batter's box. The last thing he looks at is where the third baseman is playing him. And he's a good bunter. And right now, the Giants need base runners.
He needs to do it hitting in front of Jeff Kent all the time. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So Aurelia behind in the count. 0-2. Emmanuel Burris on deck. Got him. Ran that in on the hands of Rich Aurelia.
Nice 0-2 pitch. Just utilizing the movement on your fastball. Started on the inside corner. Let the movement come off the plate in. At 94 miles per hour. I mean, that's a good pitch from Wells. And an 0-2 count. That's how you utilize an 0-2 advantage. With location like that.
Here's Burris, who's 0 for 3. Burris drew a walk in the first. He's flied out and he's bounced out twice. Up the middle. Guzman cuts it off. 2 outs. For Edgar Renteria. Renteria doubled in the 8th inning. They also had a base hit in the first. The first inning was an opportunity for the Giants, but they could not cash in. They left the bases loaded. And they had one at bat with runners at second and third with only one out. Renteria, a little pop-up, and this should do it. It's going to be Belliard, and that's the ball game.